Here's another reminder that the Democrat Party and woke corporations think black people and brown people are too stupid or too helpless to have a photo ID to vote. My name's Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I always say what you were thinking. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, liking or rumbling this video, commenting on this video, and of course, sharing this video, especially with your filthy leftist friends, because they truly hate my guts, and for me, that's a badge of honor. You guys, nothing gives me more pleasure than to see leftist heads explode en masse. And they're really exploding over the defunding of Harvard and of PBS and NPR. Let's talk about it, shall we? All right. So, last week, the Trump administration let it be known that they were going to be defunding Harvard of their $2 billion annual taxpayer-funded endowments, to which the American people popped our heads up and said, excuse me, how much are we giving to Harvard University, the Ivy League juggernaut with $53 billion with a B in endowments already? Like, why are we giving our money to these people? And Trump's like, exactly, and we're going to stop doing that. And the reason we're going to stop doing that, it's not just because Trump is, hates Harvard. I mean, probably does, but, as do normal people. But the reason why, of course, is because Harvard would not agree to stop the bullying, the harassment, the discrimination of Jewish students. Like, Harvard's like, no, we're not going to do that. Basically, what the Trump administration did, they said, listen, here's the line in the sand, and if you cross it, then you don't get the money. Basically saying that Jewish students had been overly bullied, harassed, discriminated against by the worst people in the world, the Hamas supporters, the Queers for Palestine people that are all over college campuses now, and they didn't stop one single bit of this harassment. Now, can you imagine, just for 1 second, imagine if it was not Jews, replace Jews with black people, or Jews with Muslims. Replace Jews with Muslims, shall we? Do you think for 5 seconds that Harvard would have allowed that harassment of Muslim students? I think we all know the answer to that. But for whatever reason, everyone and their dog has a hard-on for Jews right now. And I shouldn't even say right now. It's been like forever, which, again, to my mind, I don't get it. And do not come in the comments and talk to me about how off base I am about Israel and about Jews. Like, save it for someone who cares, okay? I ain't that girl, all right? I am pro-Israel. I support the Jewish people. End of story. Don't come for me. The point is this. If you would replace the word Jew with Muslim or Jew with black person, like, Harvard would have never have allowed the amount of harassment that has been done to Jewish students. And all the Trump administration was saying was like, yeah, if you want any taxpayer money, you better stop this. And Harvard's like, we're not going to stop it. In fact, we're going to double down on it. And we're going to sue you for stopping the funding of Harvard University. It's like, again, you've got $53 billion with a B, in endowments, meaning that all your alumni send you all that money every year. And not only that, it's tax-free. It isn't because Harvard has tax-exempt status, which I assume President Trump and the Department of Justice will be ixnaying that pretty soon because of the discrimination policies that Harvard employs. And it's not just Harvard, it's Columbia, it's NYU, it's all these other Ivy League institutions. Basically, Trump administration is setting this up. If you are a state-funded organization on any level, if you are engaging in any kind of discrimination of any student on any level, whether it be ideological, as in discriminating against conservatives, or if you're discriminating against Jews or Catholics or Christians or anybody else, you're getting your money cut off. And that is what's being set up here, which I think is fantastic. And like the fact that Harvard is suing, I mean, they must just watch CNN or MSNBC, like, duh, obviously, or read the New York Times, because it's sort of like the Karen Reed stands, and we're going to talk about the Karen Reed trial week too. But, like, it's like they must only watch the things that will give them the, what's the word that we're looking for here? I can't think of the word, but it's like confirmation bias. That's what it is. They're only watching the things that give them the confirmation bias that they want, not realizing that most people are like, why are we giving you money in the first place to an Ivy League institution that has $53 billion of endowments already? Use some of that money to pay for your student loans that you want to give to Hamas supporters. Like, do that. And on that note, why is it that every liberal on God's green earth is still standing for this Mahmoud Khalil, whose like whole point of wanting to come into America was to overthrow America and institute Sharia law, which is what he said he wanted to do? Like, what is this? Why are we even having this conversation? But that's how stupid the left is. Okay, now let's talk about the hilarity of Trump also signing an executive order defunding NPR and PBS. Now, of course, the left is up in arms about this, as usual. What are they not up in arms about? But again, like, I don't understand this at all. Like, why can't we just have organizations that rise or fall on their own merits? Like, if the left wants to give money to all of these groups, like NPR, PBS, Harvard, Yale, whatever, like, do it. Give all the money you want to them, and they can then go off and be as left-wing and cuckoo crazy as you want them to be. Like, no one is saying you can't do that. No one is, it would sort of be like Huffington Post coming to the Trump administration all of a sudden and being like, we want, X billions of dollars a year, and if you don't give it to us, we're going to sue you. That would be absurd, because Huffington Post has a ideological bent. And I should say not going to the government and getting money. Politico clearly did with USAID money, but I digress. But let's just use that for example. The Huffington Post has an ideological bent. Fox News has an ideological bent. American Spectator has an ideological bent, okay? PBS and NPR pretend that they don't have an ideological bent when everybody knows that they do. They are fully in the tank for Democrats. There is no daylight between the Democrat Party and what NPR and PBS says. And PBS is like, oh, but Sesame Street. It's like, well, Sesame Street's been taken over by HBO a few years back. So that argument doesn't hold any water either. And even so, like, can't some of you nice liberals part with some of your billions of dollars that you claim that people shouldn't own money except for you guys, I guess? Take some of that money and throw it at PBS and NPR. They're suing also. And I'm sure there's going to be a judge, and a judge has already said that it is unconstitutional for the Trump administration to deny access of PBS and NPR. Like, these judges. I just say, until we get a Supreme Court that has some balls again, this crap is going to continue to happen. But Trump still needs to do it. Trump still needs to say, no, the American taxpayer should not be funding ideological programming, whether it's on the right or the left. Okay? We shouldn't do it. The only programming that the taxpayers of the United States should be funding is pro-America stuff. Like Voice of America, which before it was taken over by the left was actually a pretty good outlet. Patriotic outlet. We could go back to that. Like, let's do that. But the left would have a problem with that, because it's like, oh, if you're patriotic, that means you're conservative, which tells you everything you need to know about the left. But I digress. So I say, go for it, you guys. Please continue to sue the Trump administration for simply removing taxpayer funding from organizations that are discriminating against Jewish students and discriminating against Christians, and, basically throwing down the gauntlet for Hamas and pro-Palestinian genocide and all the things that they want to do. I'm not pro-Palestinian genocide, pro-Israeli genocide, and all the things that they are doing. Please continue to go to the mat and support the indefensible. Defend the indefensible. Same with NPR and PBS. Like, nobody cares anymore. Like, you keep acting like that you won this election and you did not. So, cry harder, because the more you cry and the more you bang your heads against the wall and scream at the sky, the more it makes people like me understand that Trump's doing exactly the right thing. So, If I were you, I'd stop yelling, but you won't because you're dumb. All right, that's where I'm gonna leave this video. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you in the next one. I will be done. Bye.